Hi, this is David Gray again. I'm Jimmy Gray's brother, and I'm really happy to be here in Cincinnati. I'm actually from Stockholm, Sweden, where I run a mid-sized marketing communications agency. And this is really just a kind of part 2 follow-up to the marketing mix series that I'm doing for the influencer community, in which I want to talk about Philip Kotler's 4P's, which we mentioned before, which is having the right product at the right price and distributing or having it in the right place and promoting it in the right way. And it's interesting that Philip Kotler, who's a professor emeritus at Northwestern University, still out on the lecture circuit actually, written 80 books on the topic, people have challenged Professor Kotler and said, you know, you're looking at it from an old school point of view. You really need to open up and look at it more from a customer point of view. Yeah, you set your price and you design your product, but what about the customer? Let's keep the customer in mind. How can we create a more customer-centric, as the buzzword is these days, experience? And so they've come up with, not him, but some other people, with something which I think is kind of interesting called the 4C's, which is customer experience, cost, convenience, and communication. And I kind of like this in a way because, you know, the product is nothing other than creating a customer experience, giving value to the customer, and really people are talking more about immersive brand experiences, you know, immersive experiences at all the touch points where you meet your customers. So I think rather than just selling a product, you know, it's about creating that kind of a customer experience, and also really thinking a little bit, this is another topic actually, what is your product? Are you selling t-shirts? Are you selling wellness? Are you selling insurance? Or are you selling peace of mind? What is really the experience you want to create around your product? Nobody cares about insurance. Nobody cares about a candle as such. It's the feeling they get from the candle, and it's also the feeling they get from insurance. Of course, it's a value in there. But it's kind of thinking about what is that customer experience that's embedded in your product. The second thing is, you know, when you say, well, we're going to sell this one for $2.50 or $3 or whatever. Think about the customer. You know, I was amazed the other day. This is a true story actually. I was at McDonald's with a group of people that my mother has breakfast with sometimes, and they were talking about the price of coffee, and they were talking about that the other place across the road had coffee that was $2.50 or $3. These are people that have a lot of money, by the way, and they said, oh, I would never go there for breakfast because the coffee is $2.50 or $3. That's too much. The price is too much. It's a cost that's too high for them. They just simply don't like that idea. So they're a little bit cost sensitive. So I think it's interesting to kind of see it from the customer's point of view. And this candle that I showed in the earlier, you know, it's, you know, there's probably cheaper candles too. So people would say, I'm not going to spend $2 for a candle. It's, you know, I'm going to spend 50 cents or something. You know, it's ridiculous to spend $2 for that. So seeing it from cost. Also, convenience. This is something that really I've been thinking a lot about. There's a book by Jeffrey Gitnomer. You can look him up, Jeffrey Gitnomer. He's out there. He does a lot of things about selling, and I think what I like is this thing called the Little Red Book. He talks a lot about make it easier for customers to buy. Stop selling to people, and make it easier for the customer to buy for you. That's really the convenience factor. You know, when they go into your website, when they come to your event, make it easier for them to buy something from you right there. If you have your influencer community, you want to sign up here's the sign-up sheet right away, or whatever service you might be selling, they can become a member or buy it or order it right away. I mean, you see that on Instagram. You want to buy, you can easily buy it right away. So make the steps to the sale shorter and make it more convenient for the customer to buy it. That's also, it's kind of a no-brainer. You have to have a location for your shop that's convenient. You know, it's a pretty common thing. And then I just think that everybody's talking about promotion. What they're really talking about is obviously communication. And I think that there's a lot of obsession going on about this, saying, you know, people are feeling guilty that they're not promoting themselves enough. Why is this? Let's ask ourselves. It's because brands today have realized they need to be publishers. Brands, in the old days, called an ad agency, they did some ads, they put it in the media, did some TV spots, and it was over. Today, brands realize we have all these touch points where we can reach people in different channels, different social media channels, online, etc. So we need to have a team in-house publishing and creating and promoting. So they get very obsessed with, we need to be everywhere. When you ask them, why? What are you going to say? They go, I don't know, we'll figure that out when we get there. But they haven't really thought about their product that they're selling. So don't give yourself a guilt trip if you feel like you're not doing enough promoting. I think I have a lot of clients, oh, I'm so good. I feel guilty myself, that you're not promoting yourself. But think about what are you actually selling, and maybe give a little more thought into the value that you can bring to the customer experience. Might be something the minute they walk in your store, they see you, whatever. If your color is orange, as my company color is, you have an orange wall with some text, so everything is they experiencing your brand and the value you bring. Maybe you even write on your business card what you do, or you write in your office, the experience that you want to create, or you create it using music, sounds, all the sensory appeal. So anyway, but looking at it from the customer point of view, Philip Kotler's 4Ps, this is the other side. This is just basically the other side of the coin, and I think it's kind of an interesting comment. And by the way, Philip Kotler is he's quite a cool guy. He goes, I'm totally open if somebody comes up with another P, or they want to look at it from this perspective, but he goes, it's still the 4Ps. They cover most of the things, So I think it's interesting. Anyway, hopefully this will give you a little bit of things to think about in your business that you're not neglecting, because these things have to be in balance, and you shouldn't be just doing one at the expense of another. So it's important to think about the mix and getting that right from a customer perspective.